Hello, this is Michael Green from Microtech, and in this video I'm going to show you the pros and cons of sorting with filtering in Excel working with large data sets. So let's get started. Okay, here's my large data set right here, and I have a key field called Order ID. Now, if I want to be able to select my data, I click anywhere in my data and I do a Control A. Now, if I think I'm selecting my data, I might be wrong because if I scroll down, I think I'm selecting my data, but I'm actually missing a large portion of my data. All right. And that's because I have blank rows in my data. So if I have any blank rows in my data, I'm not going to be able to do effective sorting, filtering, and later on if I want to do pivot tables. So what can I do? I can click anywhere in my data, specifically A3, my starting cell, and using a keyboard shortcut, Control Shift and the arrows, keep going. Now, if you go too far, it's okay, hit Control Shift up arrow and then Control Shift right to select all your data, and then scroll up. And now, what we'll do is we'll go to Data, and then go into the sort, and in sort, if necessary, clear all my levels and click on add level, and in here sort by and sort by order ID. And in order ID with sort, click on OK, and watch the magic here. When I scroll down, what you'll notice is that all of your records that are blank are sorted to the bottom. All right, so that's our first pro overall. Our first pro is going to be eliminate the blank rows in your data using sorting. Now, if I go back to my data here, all right, so let's say I sort by my order ID, right click. I can easily right click now and go to sort and sort smallest to largest. All right, so let's say I do some filtering. I filtered by Maine lobster roll, which is one of my product names, and I can select any way I want. So I'll select all my data and scroll all the way down, and I'll go into here and I'll select the yellow fill. Now, it's much easier to select all the data that way, and then if I click and watch this nice piece, when I go to data and I clear, right? Look at that. All the rows are selected, but I don't have to select them individually. Now I'll do the same thing for quantities less than 80, and I'll do that in red. Okay, here's all my quantities less than 80 with red fill and a white text. And when I go to data and clear, all right, so now look at that. I have red rows and yellow rows. And then finally, total orders greater than average in green. All right, so here's all my green data. And when I go ahead and go to data and clear, so here's all my green rows. So there's my green rows, my yellow rows, and my red rows. And that's my second pro, sort by categories, apply filter, and then color. Now, if I go back to my data, I may want to do one more pro. And here you can see what you might have seen before, but here I now set it up, which I'm sorting by color. And this is a third pro. So you can see order ID, cell color, yellow, doesn't matter what field, and then I had added a level, and then red cell color, green cell color, and then anything else that doesn't have a color, order ID, cell values, largest to smallest, And then when I click on OK, there's all my yellows. Voila, look at that. Red and then green. All right, so if your boss wanted it in a certain color order, there it is. And then everything else in order ID. So that's our third pro, sort by color. So eliminate the blank rows in your data. Sort by categories, apply filter, then color, and then sort by color. Now the cons are going to be directly changing the data. Well, if this is financial or secure data, you're eliminating rows, you're applying filters in color, and you're sorting by color. Somebody may not want you actually changing the data, so you may not be able to physically change the data at all. And another con is you can't directly ask detailed questions. So if you look here at the data set, you can't ask questions like, who is your best customer? Because you can't get to that levels of detail. What's your best product that you've sold? And who's your best sales rep? In order to do things like that, you need a more sophisticated tool like pivot tables. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our video here on pros and cons of sorting with filtering. This is one of 2 parts. I also have another video on pros and cons with pivot tables. It's a comparative video. I hope you take a look at that video as well, and hope to see you next time. If you happen to enjoy this video, consider liking and subscribing, as I have even more videos planned in the future. And if you would like to contact me for training and consulting or test prep, my name is Michael Green, a Microsoft certified trainer, trainer consultant for almost 30 years, since 1995, and I can be reached at my email address at microtechus@gmail.com, and these are the apps that I know shown here on the screen. So thank you, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.